Welcome to the Elements of Spirit readings for the week of December 31st, 2017. This would be the reading for the element of air, which includes the sun signs of Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Let's see. The sort of New Year's moment just happened in the ether reading. So if you haven't watched the ether reading, go back and check it out now, and then come back here and watch your air reading. The affirmation for the ether was, I love and respect myself and all beings. So simple, so complicated. So much motion around the heart today. I use my daydreams to separate my experiential wheat from my existential chaff. So this says that for y'all air signs, you would benefit greatly from being the ones tonight or through the week who oversees the best of lists, right? Or the top 10 moments of the last year, or that kind of cataloging. But the idea here is for you, shout out to the So Retrograde girls, right? Steph and Elizabeth, that's So Retrograde. They do Roses and Thorns every episode. So the idea for this would be to use your daydreams today, and once you start getting back into the flow of things next week, and then especially next weekend, to be a little more analytical about what you've learned. So the sense is that you've gotten a butt ton of information in the last year. Here's to authenticity. You've gotten a butt ton of information over the last year about your perceptions of people, what you think of them, what they really are, what your role is in those perceptions, right? In both projecting but also reacting to those perceptions and assessments of people. And the idea is that you haven't quite finished sorting it out. So you run the risk, air elements, of just kind of not thinking about some of this stuff and moving into 2018 poised to kind of make some mistakes that you don't really need to make. Okay, so this is not threatening. Like, it doesn't feel like, oh, it's going to be so problematic. It's just there's a window here where if you want to learn the most important lessons about how you set your sights, what you see, what you perceive, what you project, relative to your own self-love, right? Relative to the ether affirmation of, I love and respect myself and all beings, right? That's the standard for the lesson, is the sort of basic lines of self-love. Experiential wheat from existential chaff. So what happened to me that was great, that supported my self-love, versus what were the consequences and shakedowns that hindered my self-love, or that worked against my self-love, or that maybe weren't the most loving, or that made me not feel that reflection of loving self back to self, right? Saying, learn, figure it out. And use the time to daydream. I'm guessing that for everybody else that's going to come up now, it's not going to be as past leaning, not as nostalgic, not as reflective, So, do it. So it's we're moving into the new year. So that's what's weird. It's like you almost don't want to look back during the course of this next week, but the guidance here is to do look back. Do look back and learn. Think about what you've learned regarding self-love and the love of yourself and caring for yourself, and choices that you've made that have supported that care and that have hindered that care. Got it. So it is about understanding. I understand how to make that support my self-care and self-love. No, it's interesting. So I'm trying to massage more into this or out of it. But here's the affirmation. I understand how to make choices that support my self-care and self-love. So I was trying to push, and then, right, I'll give all of that self-care and self-love to my community, my gift, my service, whatever. But no, again, it's like, I want to use the word selfish because my sense is that if you're doing this through the course of the first week of the year, you might start to feel selfish. There's also something in here that says, like, if you're going to make a resolution, make the New Year's resolution on the 7th. Don't bother doing it on the 1st because you haven't learned how to love yourself exquisitely enough based on the lessons that you learned about self-love in the past year. So use this week to kind of maintain a little more of that Auld Lang Syne vibe and a little more of that reflective, past-looking, nostalgic self, because it feels like you want to use a little bit of society chugging, American society chugging back to life over the course of the next week to not do more, but to learn more so that when that week is over, you're ready to sort of rocket ship ahead. So, repeat it. I understand how to make choices that support my self-care and self-love. You can almost do this in a meditation while daydreaming about the past, and say it. I understand how to make choices that support my self-care and self-love, and let that be like a time machine into the past year where you go, where did I make a choice that supported that self-care and self-love? I'm trying to think of one now. I gave myself, what I needed in this one situation, and then I understand how to make choices that support my self-care and self-love. I'm like, no, I don't. Okay, so where was a moment that I didn't make those choices to support my self-care and self-love? And asking myself, did that lead to me doing more and better and greater things for, the community and for all of us? No. So, okay, I understand what I could have done differently then. I understand how to make choices that support my self-care and self-love. Yeah, I do. Now I've just done my homework. Make sense? I hope you like this. I understand how to make choices that support my self-care and self-love. Enjoy this week. Enjoy this year. I'll see you next time. Love you so much. Bye.